Tell me when it's live and lewd.
It's live and lewd right now. We're on.
Right, we're back.
Yeah.
Yes.
EP4.
So you did 5K.
Yeah.
You would amazing. That is impressive. But like I said,
it's not that impressive. It took me about 40 minutes, and I did a lot of walking.
Right.
So I think you're supposed to do like a 25-minute 5K to make sure that you're jogging or running.
I'll be honest with you.
Time.
If I'd walked 5K, I wouldn't mention it. It's
Yeah.
not even a thing, is it? You might walk 5K to the shops and back.
Yeah. You might. You absolutely might.
But that's like me just I wasn't showing off, but I've done 27 miles on a bike.
Yeah.
And then I sort of waited for the feedback from you.
Yes.
Which
is really good.
And then I had to say on an electric bike.
Yeah.
Which is the equivalent of about 5 miles on a normal bike.
Maybe. I mean, you're still pedaling the whole way, right?
Yep.
So there you go. That's the 27 miles of pedaling. It was just
you do the math.
You do the pedaling instead of the bike. That's the NHS's biking campaign. You do the pedaling. All these electronic.
It's also their drug
bikes.
campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, their pro-drug campaign.
Just went to get a nice swig of drink and there's nothing in there.
Oh no! Do you need to get another one?
That is disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm all right.
Yeah, you sure? You're going to be talking a lot over this incredible.
That's a good point. No, I won't vacate my spot.
Okay.
Someone else might leap in.
Yeah. Here's your partner outside waving at the window again. Yeah. I'm coming in. I'm going to do the podcast. Right. Should we do it?
Yep.
Any more bants that we need to wade through?
No, I'm fully bantered.
Okay.
I should say I've had a few drinks today and I don't drink very often.
Yeah.
And I was drinking while cycling, not at the same time, but we were stopping at pubs.
Yeah.
En route. Thierry en route.
Thierry en route. Thierry en route.
I've had 3 pints of cider and a rum and coke.
Other
That's a lot
ciders
for me.
Available. Was it a strong cider?
One of them was 5.2.
Okay.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
The others were all sort of 4.7-ish.
Cool. Great. Good to know and what level it is. No, I won't ask you the blood alcohol level you're at because you won't know and I won't understand. So let's go. Come on, EP4, big energy, big episode 4 energy.
I'm excited.
Okay.
But not about this.
No, you're excited about literally anything else. Paula Mendelsohn. She's back. So is the big capital T.
If someone said before this started, name the 3 stars of this, struggle, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm Sally Rokeby now, married with 2 lovely children. I lied about the last bit.
That is a good BBC sitcom echo on their voices.
Pete? Hey, she said I hadn't changed since our school photograph.
You didn't go to B&Q in your gym slip again.
I hope you showed her pictures of your new ghost. Oh, this is her when
Couldn't
she
they
was
create some kind of sound swallowing or echo swallowing device? Like just egg boxes or something? Oh,
I'm ambitious to be dead, you know.
Another big swear word's been edited out.
When's dinner hour in limbo?
He makes it sound like Butlin.
Oh no, I haven't.
Needed that. After pounding the Axminster of ad agency reception, so what did you tell your old friends?
I said that your new business was starting to take off and that jobs were coming in, which they are, Pete. 3 top ad men said they might have work for you.
Anything could happen. Someone
Who
could
talks
bomb
like
the
that? Like
3
as
top ad
factually?
men.
Yeah.
If we were going
3.
to the plagues, you'd say, oh, look, Ramesses, isn't this tap water a lovely red colour?
Joy, don't talk to me about plagues.
Nobody was. Don't slouch, David.
Sally, you sound
Tin of
pretty
red
tempted.
stripe he's got on the go.
Yeah.
Finished?
Plus David
In my
looked
day, we call that an
extremely
appetizer.
depressed.
You want to stunt his growth? Give him some more before he fades away.
I'm full up on theatre.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. His stomach's shrunk.
Can't you hear that?
No, I can't hear that, and I can't see that, but it's beginning to get right up my nose.
I have to take this in my own house.
It's not your
Hey,
flaming.
now, talking of the house, did you notice the shelves I put up in the living room?
Of course I did. Nice unit.
Well, I could have done with her in my flat.
Yeah.
It is nothing.
Instead of it
Remember me saying
costing
the other day,
$5.5
yeah.
grand.
Less of that.
I had So that evaluation was last Monday when he said that.
Yeah.
All day.
What I think it says a lot that he hasn't bothered calling. Like he knows he's offered
Oh
too
yeah,
much.
I had that
But
with Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I did get an email this afternoon from Sharps,
Yeah.
and it was it was £150 off.
Really? Yeah, I had a quote for a hole in the
Did she
roof,
tell you about this?
and
28th time's the
the
best.
guys came and got up a ladder and had a look, and said, "Well, I'll
Yeah,
email
so
you."
I can put a hole through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can make that hole much bigger. But he said, "Well, I'll send you an email with a quote, and you can ignore it, and we'll never speak again." I was like, "Okay."
Wait, Mum, I've got a physical hamster.
David?
Peter?
He's mainly the table.
Don't run, you could trip. Wash your hands from the animal. Make sure he eats plenty. Friday night, and here they are gone. If we'd only lit candles.
Oh, is it Black Mass again? And we're right out of chicken's blood.
A joker. It's Friday night, or Shabbos, as we say.
Well, dream on, as we say.
Pete, the candles are important to her.
Can you hear yourself?
Candles on a Shabbos. It's what keeps a family together.
Didn't keep your daughter running off with a pop singer.
Peter?
What's he trying to do? Kill me?
That joke has made it into every episode, I think.
Yeah, several times.
He didn't mean it. He's had a hard week.
Hard week. He hardly did anything.
That's what made it hard, you stupid old crone!
Pete, it doesn't help.
Sally, it's the drink. Thank God my Sam
The one
preferred
red
eating.
stripe.
Yeah, he's had a whole half a red stripe.
Yeah. I've had 3 ciders, mate.
Yeah, and cycled 27 miles on an electric bike. Absolutely turned.
Eh,
Big laugh for fair.
Why can't we talk in the bedroom? She promised not to come in there.
She probably sells tickets to her dead friends. Sally, I can't cope with Golda Meir hollering.
Now, be fair. She keeps a distance while you're working.
What about the other 23 hours?
Pete, she's an old woman. We're her life.
Sally, she's had her life.
If.
Why are you sticking
What?
up for her?
As if.
I'm not Pete.
Are you getting attached to her?
Of course not.
Well, clearly.
Yeah. How couldn't you?
Pete, you've been getting commissions.
Has there been any mention of her getting a job?
Businesses start.
No.
Just remember, you can't be. A
She's been
success
doing up the
overnight.
house.
Why not? Overnight successes are.
That's probably as far as this is willing to go, wasn't it? In
Yeah.
being sort of a bit
Chilly in
modern.
here.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, she's been up a ladder.
There are folk far worse.
Makes
off than us.
breakfast,
Who
talks to
cares about
an old
London
ghost,
Yeah.
and puts
Nobody
shelves up.
talks about
Stays
advertising
home and
communities being
tries to
destroyed.
scrape
Hey, up,
wallpaper.
there's trouble at Wine Bar.
Well, I've had an idea for a business. Decorating for women
Ooh.
who'd rather have a woman around.
There you
the
go.
house.
Speak of the devil.
I
Oh
can't
wow!
wait.
Look at that.
A woman.
This
around.
is how many times has this happened already
Twice.
in this series?
That's the second time.
I'm saying 3.
Yeah.
Because in episode 1 of this, I said it's like Bleak House, and then
Oh, yeah.
about
Oh,
a
yeah,
sentence
that's true.
later,
Yeah.
So it was okay to be a good, responsible social worker earning 3 jam jar lids a fortnight, so long as you brought home the bacon.
Sally, don't mention that word.
Look, I'm getting my
You gave up your job last summer because
Just desserts
you
here.
were exhausted.
I didn't know you were going to lose yours.
I can manage. Let's just get shot of Whistler's mother. I'll find more clients. There must be some out there.
If lightning strikes this shed, you'll go up like Joan of Arc.
Mr. Bloom!
The voice of doom.
I saw a light.
Who's
I
Joan
was
of
in my
Arc?
garden wishing my departed friends good Shabbos. I just planted Mr. Pinkers yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was a good man and an inspired chiropodist.
Mr. Bloom, you must know some of Carol Feldman's old friends. Is there anyone I can talk to?
Oh, it's been so long. Oh, she knew Greta Hirsch. She runs Greta's on the parade, but
Terrific.
how's work, Mr. Root?
Good start. It's only a matter of time.
Now the Iraqis have the bomb, how much time have we all got anyway?
Oh, I feel
I don't think I've ever seen a BBC sitcom, with the exception of Tessa Peake Jones here, where so few of the cast I've seen in anything else.
Yeah.
We better
It's
go
an
in.
absolute
Mrs. Feldman
wasteland
gets
of talent.
You know?
All talent that's appeared in more than one place.
I hope you like acid rain, Mr. Pinkers.
And his father was lying back.
Look at that dog
quite white.
stealing the scene,
Head
looking
on
right
his
down the barrel of the
breast.
camera as well.
One of his hands resting on an open book with a pencil clutched in it.
Oi, the man's a goner. Believe me, I speak from experience, Sally. So go on, read.
She looked... Oh, Pete must still be touting for business.
Look at that lovely living room.
Talk about it,
Look at this
Sally?
dustbin of a
No
house.
thanks, Mrs.
Yeah.
Feldman. I'm all talked
Touting
out.
for business.
She looked
Makes him
round
sound like he's a
wildly and
prostitute.
said, oh, John, he's dead. He's dead.
What? Who's dead? Who's John?
I'm reading the Forsyth
Obviously
file.
reading a book.
Out loud. I thought we cured you of that. When we went to see that film with the subtitles and the man behind you.
She's reading to me. My eyes aren't so good since I died.
Oh.
That's quite a good line, actually.
He's still here, Mrs. Feldman.
By the window.
I'll help you out.
As was that.
Come on, I think
Sorry,
you're
I'm done for
getting...
you. Come to
Have
bed.
I just become desensitised to how
desensitized.
rubbish it is?
I think it's bedtime, Mrs. Feldman. Pete's tired.
He's tired. Let him try haunting or decorating. So what happens to the Forsyths?
They live happily
Bruce.
ever after. It's called fiction.
I saw a beer. I went to a pub last night to
to
see
hear
some
something?
friends, and there was a beer on called Juice Forsyth.
I was playing your tune.
There was a headline when Man United had a Champions League qualifier against a team called Bruges.
Yeah.
And the manager took a massive gamble. We're playing like a youth team or a weakened team in the first leg, and they still won 5-0. And I wanted to see Bruges Foresight
Started last
as the
night.
headline,
Brilliant.
It's
but
meant to
didn't
be a day
happen.
of rest.
Or Youth
Where have
Foresight.
the parents gone so early?
But
Also
the
works.
Bruges,
Yeah.
that was an
To
opportunity.
be splodled too. See,
Be great if you can combine the two and have Bruce,
it's nice
and it sounds like
having
Bruce
Daddy
with a
home so
lisp.
much, isn't it?
Bruce. Bruce
It isn't easy for him
Forsyth.
these days. Oh, your mummy. He doesn't mean to be cross. You know that, don't you? Your hamster's looking undernourished. Are you feeding him properly?
Where's Mum?
Why is that funny?
She told you. I can't find her black top. I am meeting Darren in less than 3.5 hours. It's not important. It's only my life they're earning.
Don't be a teenager.
Outrageously big laugh for that joke.
I should live so long.
Surprised you didn't laugh.
Got some standards.
Oh, look, a 90s high street.
Steady, Pete.
Amazing.
Don't hold up.
Oh, careful, love. Once she's in a rut,
There's women's wear shops that you'd get in little town high streets.
There's one near me, like just like that.
Yeah. We had one that was called like Sharon, but spelt like CHARAN or something. And then there was a lingerie shop next door called Tender Trap.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty racy.
You're a perfect 12. I think I'm a 14.
Oh, but you make it look like a 12. That's the secret. You're feeling like a fish out of water. I tell all my husbands, go to the DIY.
This is like the Fast Show character.
Yeah.
You know, in the perfume
After
shop.
Greta Garbo, my poor mother, she wanted a blonde. Still, there's time. Is it a special occasion?
Actually,
Wedding, bar mitzvah? No, not bar mitzvah. But as I tell my Spencer, isn't every occasion special? Oh, Petula, could you attend to this lady? Size 16.
We're looking for a Carol Feldman.
She sounds like she's doing sort of a
Just sold
weird
the last
Greek
one, but with-
accent.
Carol, with an E? Are you a friend of
No,
hers?
C.
we know her mum. Knew her mum.
Oh, yes, her mother. But she's been gone for years.
You wouldn't happen to know where Carol...
Why do they keep going into weird voices?
Well, I haven't seen Carol since she was a size 10. I think she ran off with a Rick, Zach or someone, a singer.
Oh, well, never mind. Thank you for your help.
Greta? Oh, one tiny second. Don't go away. Stroll around.
How? Sally, she claims this to somebody else. You do want to get rid of Mrs. F, don't you?
Who wants a ghost?
Right, okay then. You
That's
know
the
what,
scariest
Task?
thing that's happened
I'm
in this
going
entire
out.
show.
Don't you worry. I'll get a lead. It's like a detective story, isn't it?
Yeah.
In series 2, who would you say is least likely to still be in this? Like who they replace with a new
Don't
actor?
get upset if he comes home with a new Black and Decker.
Well, probably her, because she's might be offered another gig.
I don't know how you could do it, Sal.
Pete!
The daughter might be completely different.
Giving it away.
Yeah, or she's gone to uni or something. So she's just been written out, and then like the son is a couple of years older, but he's got a mate that comes around all the time who's black.
What did you learn?
So they don't have an all-white cast. Or all-white / Jewish.
I don't think that was on the radar of
No,
90s.
probably not. No, probably another decade later they might have done that.
Yeah, you look fine, yeah.
How nice do I look, big boy?
Here we go.
Very nice. Sally, the kids.
Do you want to see my tender trap?
Begging letters to write and the great Mancunian novel.
Pete, it's Saturday.
Well, then take Mrs. Feldman's advice and give it a rest, eh?
Mum, does this look okay?
Oh my God.
What an incredible
You look terrific.
sartorial
You
experiment.
are not going out like that.
You don't think I look better in my black 501?
Yes.
If you'd rather wear your 501s.
Well, you hate this, don't you? You think I look awful?
Yes.
I don't think anything of the sort.
Well, I do. You can't sit in McDonald's like that. They'll be drooling all down the cheeseburgers.
I'm seeing him in less than 2 hours. Oh, my legs are gross, aren't they?
Then cover them up. Sally, she is not meeting Warren like that.
Darren.
Him neither.
Well, now it's raining. Thank you, God.
I'll drive you down the road.
Oh, please.
Hey, do you like my new dress?
Yeah, it's okay. Mum,
No.
are you sure this is all right?
Does anyone listen to a word I say? No, I might as well not exist. I might as well be Mrs. Feldman.
You called me? The daughter looks like a tramp.
Mrs. Feldman?
See, even she agrees with me. Tammy,
I find it weird when,
Pete, this is ridiculous.
and I think it's mostly fictional men, but acknowledge that their daughter looks sexy in that kind of way. Just like,
I know.
make it
yeah.
about being cold. Make it about anything
Yeah,
rather than
I
being
know,
like, everyone's
yeah.
going to think you're so fit. And you're like, that's just disgusting.
In the sale.
Sally, you were born to wear that dress. Some
I
of
saw
us
this
think
thing on
the way we're
Facebook,
bright.
like this. It was like, you know, something been shared a million times, and it was a photo of a
Oh.
youngish girl going out for the night, basically like her,
Yeah.
about to go out for the night, and it was her dad commenting saying, "If I was 20 years younger."
Oh, Jesus.
So you can rest in peace.
I know, but... Oh, excuse me.
Still be too
I
old
was
to
just being
date
dematerialized by your
the
son.
woman that you're referring to, who is your daughter.
She's offended now.
Big Trump energy.
Shucks.
Trenergy, I like to call it.
Trenergy. Tronergy.
I'm not. What were those letters you were going to write?
Oh, thought I'd do something devastatingly witty to sell myself to clients. Like enclose a picture of my wife and kids in rags.
Hey, keep telling yourself you're going to make it. They loved your Sandy shoe ads.
That was last week.
Positive thinking.
Your optimism, it must make life so much easier.
A girl's never down with a
How
good
to
down.
afford anything
Yeah.
if he's not getting work? That's the thing. That was it.
So now do you
TV poor always really annoys me
Yeah.
because they've always got so much more than I ever had.
Yeah.
Feldman.
I did have a student who wanted to write an essay about how massive the Simpsons house is compared to what they should be able to afford.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to be a little bit like, it is a bit different in America. Houses are huge in America, but not necessarily worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and they've also
She's upstairs.
Also, it's
referenced it
Yeah.
so many times.
Oh, have
like
they? Oh,
that's-
I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
yeah,
that.
they do. They have paid that lip service quite a lot.
Okay.
Long enough. You look terrific.
You're not a 15-year-old boy.
No, and I never was. I skipped those years and went straight on to 21.
Bloody raining.
Language.
Still peeing down.
Interesting, you said 21, as like we all knew that meant an adult.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Now you'd have to say 40.
European puff
Yeah.
mountain.
I saw a picture of David Baddiel the other day with his daughter, who's, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, could be 30, I don't know. But anyway, it's obviously significantly younger than him. And I was like, oh, for the love of God. And then it was just like, oh, me and the daughter went to whatever. And it was so nice to see a man of David Baddiel's age and
It's your boyfriend.
experience going out with not going out with somebody, sorry, standing with a woman that age and it not reading that that's his new girlfriend.
Calm down.
It's like Anthony Kiedis, who's like 40 something and going out with a 19-year-old.
Okay, just get him
Just
to land.
Who?
I'll run at the set.
Oh, the singer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm sure that's
right.
not really a surprise given his
She won't be a
Reputation.
second, Warren. Darren.
Here he
check
is.
out Darren.
Women. Well,
Nice, he looks like Brahms.
Come into the
He
living room.
does. Brahms and a Parker.
That's a Morrissey song, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone for the old Nicky Campbell glasses.
Yeah.
Have you read War and Peace? It's on the shelf.
It's Jason Donovan. We can't leave him on his own. What'll he think of us?
I've been told not to talk to him. What can I do if she's ashamed of her own father?
Oh, she isn't. It's just... I'd better go and... How's the baking letter? Tammy won't be long,
It's the best
Darren.
line they've written.
I'm
What?
Just the thumbs
In
up.
my day, a young man would get up
How's that
and
letter
he
going?
walks in.
It was ever so nice of you to come, Darren.
He's not much to look at, is he? So what's with all this hair?
So how's your hair?
It's like Brahms.
Looks like Brahms.
How is it? Okay.
Too bad.
Bet they're working you hard, aren't they, for the GCSE?
I don't mind. Except for physics and chemistry.
He's not going to be a doctor, that's for sure.
Is he supposed to be a hunk?
What about maths?
Yeah, you can tell from the
There
hair.
goes accountancy. So find out what he wants to do for a living.
2 years later, it would be the really tight mushroom top
What?
look.
Oh,
Like, think of the when
do you
Casper
want to do
in the
for a
film
Don't know.
turns into
Wonderful.
into a real human boy instead of a white ghost
He's a
cartoon.
nice boy. He's growing
Right,
on
I've got
me.
no memory of that at all.
Well,
his father do?
I use that as a reference
Ask
for
him. You've got
when
to
you knew
know,
you were
Sally.
when you were a girl or
so what does your father
fancied
do?
men,
Father.
and
Split up. I don't see my
someone was introduced, a
Oi,
teenage
she's
boy
going
was
out with a
introduced,
delinquent.
specifically coded as someone you should fancy,
We're cooking
or at least that the
gas,
female
anyway.
protagonist should
Casper.
fancy.
Mum
Yeah.
is asking Darren all these stupid questions
He
about his parents.
believes
So
in a beauty.
Oh, no.
Is
Come on,
Casper
take
as
over,
a
make it snappy,
boy?
and no more Essex dog
Is that the
jokes.
Morrissey song?
No, that's Bjork, Venus as a boy.
Just like
Oh.
the singer
But with
who ran
Casper
off the
added.
carol.
Do you like pop music, Darren?
Well, looks like the rain's clearing up.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, Tammy.
I think we'd better be going.
Tell him we made lunch here.
I've made
When did we
lunch here.
lose the pop from pop music?
Oh,
Now you just say,
go
do you
on,
like
off you go,
music?
have a good
Or
time.
what music
Yeah.
are you into? Pop music, not a thing, is it? It is a thing, but you don't say, oh, I listen to pop music.
Yeah.
That was a real sort of early 90s
And
phrase.
it became like
Thanks.
not cool, I guess, like saying like how Americans say
He's a really nice lad.
are
Yeah,
embarrassed
be
if somebody
careful.
asks them if they
My
have a
Carol's
gig.
pop singer had the same eyes.
What was his name?
Like it's lame.
Carol's pop singer.
Is
I
it?
don't remember.
I think you do.
Wait till you're dead. You try remembering names.
See? She's getting too cosy here. She doesn't want to leave yet.
I'm sure that isn't the case.
Well, if she won't help me and you won't help me, bing,
I reckon episode
think of
6 I get an
another idea.
exorcist in.
And
and it gets dark.
Wow.
To change. Ha ha!
What? And it makes Pete leave
Like the gold
by
The
The girl
accident.
gets possessed.
Yeah.
Nobody sits still for a second.
She puts in a tremendous performance.
No, neither of I.
Wins a
Episode
BAFTA.
6 is The Exorcist.
Sally.
I've got a packet of chicken soup.
This is excellent.
When's Andrew's mummy coming for me?
What?
3 minutes sooner than when you were Salad's getting cold.
Just, you know when you cannot think what someone looks like or who someone looks like?
Yeah.
I've just got... It's pretty niche. It might even be more niche than the Casper as a boy.
Doesn't help.
It's... Do you remember in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? He has a son that is like a grasshopper.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's upstairs.
It really looks like this boy.
Hi,
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Sally, I'd like you to meet Stephen Green.
Hello?
Stephen
Rabbi
Green.
Stephen Green.
Oh, my
Ooh.
God.
Oh, there you go. Here's The
He's my
Exorcism.
boss. Stephen's our local liberal rabbi. He's come to get rid of our house ghosts once and for all.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Again,
Your
you've predicted
husband's
what's
very
going to happen.
I know,
persistent, Mrs. Rugby.
incredible.
I don't usually chase ghosts on a Saturday.
Of course, Shabbos. Pete, I really don't
She's
think the
often
rabbi...
in here. Just watching.
Shabbos!
Well, I can certainly smell something.
Chicken soup.
Well, yes.
That's her.
She's a chicken.
Rabbi, is there something you can say? Some mumbo-jumbo?
What's on his
Some
jacket?
special incantation?
Really isn't that
He looks
simple?
like
Have a walk around, please.
someone from a piece of Jehovah's Witness literature that they put
Yeah.
through your door.
But you also,
Like
where he
living
was
in-
stood on the other side of the room,
It's Rabbi Green.
his nose
Do
was
me a
casting
favour,
a
he's not a
shadow
rabbi.
He is
like a little
Mr.
Hitler
What's
tash.
happening? I can't hear anything.
Sally, I know from rabbis. He doesn't even look
Sure, he'd have
Jewish.
loved that at comparison.
Narrow-minded.
Well,
What
that's
about
why
Kirk
it was so
Douglas or Goldie Hawn?
surprising.
Sammy Davis Jr.
They're discussing films.
She doesn't believe you're Jewish.
Well, tell her it's one of the qualifications.
There. Send me a proper rabbi with a beard and a hat, and then maybe I'll put my best frock on.
Mrs. Feldman, that is just the sort of blinkered attitude. I'm sorry. She's a bit timid.
Like a pit bull.
I wouldn't believe this, except that my grandfather had to deal with a ghost once, many years ago.
Was he a rabbi?
Yes, it's the family business.
Ask him the name.
What was his name?
Rabbi Meyer Roth.
I know you. You're the Kugel Snatcher.
Who said that?
She did. When you were 8 years old,
The person you're standing away from deliberately.
Making a Russian Kugel. It's a pudding. Oh, I'll give you the recipe. You'll die. And this.
Oh.
And grabbed a handful. I could have given him such a schmeiss.
I tell you what,
I don't know.
I think she is the worst
Do you mind if we
lead
just talk for a while?
I have ever seen.
You would help us get shot of her.
To get a gig this good. You can forgive the kids because they're kids. What excuse has she got to be bossing this programme? It's as flat as a pancake.
How are you feeling, Mrs.
She does no
Every
acting
line.
in between delivering lines at all. She's not asking for
Delivering
any
them.
attention. Yeah.
We're lumbered. This didn't happen in The Exorcist.
I mean, he might be second.
The Exorcist.
Come to terms, Sally.
Did he just say,
She's
oh, I can't believe this.
136.
It's almost
She
spooky.
drives us into the shed, she interrogates our daughter's boyfriend, she's turning our 7-year-old into Topol.
I love that act. That.
Started.
Oh, she's doing this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to build up a business here.
I have noticed, actually, Pete.
Well, how can I with all this going on?
Well, you seem to be managing. You are writing. How's the selling letter?
Actually, I've had a good idea, but don't change the subject. Listen!
No, you listen. All these weeks, when you've been out of work and worrying, who's been here for you?
Well, you have, but...
Who's been boosting you up when you've been doing yourself down?
I know that.
Have I been supporting you, telling you we're doing okay? Have I?
Yes, I couldn't have done it without you.
Don't you think I need a bit of bloody support, too?
Okay.
What? You... Sally, she's a ghost.
My mother's useless. My friends can't go on listening forever. In her own way, Mrs. Feldman's always there.
You can say that again.
I get down too, Pete. I'm not Superwoman.
Sorry. I do love you, you know.
I did look okay, didn't I? In Greta's dress.
You look like a size 10 just waiting to
Oh,
get
here we
out.
go.
You will help, won't you, with the decorating business?
If I'm as red hot as you keep telling me, I won't...
Are you trying to spoil a beautiful moment?
Oh, please. Why is there a man in the kitchen talking to a chair?
He's a rabbi.
Explains it.
How was the Mac date?
Excellent. Hey, for some weird reason, Darren liked you. He said you were the first mother to ever really show an interest in him.
Hi, I'm Stephen Green.
Oh, I'm Tammy, but by tomorrow I could be Barbara Streisand.
What?
Funny girl.
Funny girl, get it?
Me. My family
Oh,
will
yeah.
be wondering where I am on a Shabbos.
You'll come again, won't you?
Shabbos.
Stop me, Mrs.
Shabbos.
Rugby. Oh, and I'll ask around about Carol with an E. Somebody's bound to know something.
Great.
Don't bother.
Well, in your own time.
Forget it.
There's one
Forget
more
everything.
thing I'm going to say, Kugel Snatcher.
Oh, yes. A little matter of candles on a Friday night.
Well...
Reminds me, baby, of you.
Henry's stomach shrunk. He just won't eat any chicken soup.
Candles. Not while I'm alive, Mrs. Feldman.
I'll give him till next Friday.
Absolutely
Oh,
abysmal.
that really was the final gag.
That
Wow.
really stank.
Yeah.
In a moment here on One, a brand new comedy series
BBC
from Carla
One.
Lane, Screaming.
Oh, what was that he just said? A new series
Hang on.
by Carla Lane. Penny's sister. Screaming, it was called. I'm always
In a
interested
moment here on
in.
One, a brand
Oh,
new
hang on.
comedy series from Carla Lane,
Yeah.
Screaming.
Screaming. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I like sitcoms written by hit sitcom writers that were flops.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that always interests me. So obviously, Screaming was no raging success.
I mean, I don't know if I've heard of it. I feel
No.
like if we keep watching this YouTube video, it will come on, but that's not the case, is it?
No, it's going to end now. Jonathan Stroud. That's a familiar name.
He's directed every episode, I think.
Oh. Every Stroud has a silver line.
Good. That was a really bad one, I think. I think that was structurally all over the place. It was
nothing. It was like a first draft.
Yeah.
They said, let's just do that.
Yeah. Although what might be the case is that I think a lot of these, like we talked about last time, there is no kind of structural arc of the series. So sometimes what they do with like a 6-episode series is they take the bad one and they stick it in at 4 or 5.
5 is always a rotter.
So that they have a big send off on 6 and then everyone goes, oh yeah, it's brilliant because they've forgotten.
This is building up to the exorcism.
Yeah, the really high drama 1 hour special with no laughter track and lots of blood.
My comment about the rabbi looking like somebody from Jehovah's Witness literature.
Yes.
So you're living in a city.
I'm living in a city.
Yeah. Do you still get those? Because I live in
Jehovah's Witnesses.
The things through the door with like these sort of pastoral drawings of blokes like that in suits and their wives in like pearl necklaces and
you more just get them handed out in the street in the city centre.
Right. You don't get them coming to your door and slipping those through with an invitation to like an invitation to an event.
I think I have done it at Christmas. I think there's been you get a Christmas card and you're like, oh, who's this from? And then you open it and it's some church group who's inviting you to their carol service and to also donate you their firstborn.
It wouldn't be Jehovah's Witnesses inviting you to a Christmas. I thought you were going to say they send you like a snarky one.
What's the deal with Jehovah's Witnesses and Christmas?
They
don't do it. Sorry, we both froze for me there.
Oh,
say it again.
They write it off as a pagan festival, so don't celebrate it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
But they also believe that the end is nigh.
Yeah, I watched
they've been saying it for years.
I watched a really depressing documentary about how the conflict in the Middle East is being championed by evangelical Christians in America of a certain persuasion because they can't wait for the end of the world because that's when the rapture happens. So they're like, brilliant, let's stoke the tension and donate lots of money to special interest groups. Yeah,
well, there's like a battlefield, isn't there, which gets mentioned in Revelation, and they're dangerously close to sort of being near there or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have been at various other times in history. No one's ever mentioned it.
Yeah. Well, I think they have mentioned it, and that's why it's like this again. But they're just,
Who can remember what it was all about?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're quite right. That was a terrible, terrible piece of television.
Yeah. It's rendered me speechless. Yeah.
I'm annoyed that it's still got its plot. Because the amount of times there have been good sitcoms and they've failed. You know they're failed, but they were half decent. Yeah. I'm thinking of one that I really liked with Jim Broadbent, and it was called The Peter Principle. And it was written by John O'Farrell and various other people. There's like a little group of them. And it was really, I remember it being quite sort of sharp. And I really liked it as a sort of classic sort of studio sitcom. And it got pushed around, like it started at 9:30, then it went to 11, then it was basically saying this is over, this isn't happening. But this one has maintained its plum spot on a Sunday night in January.
Maybe that's some research we should do. Is like, what was it up against? What was on Sunday nights that... Because that was the theory before, wasn't it? That it is on because it's a nothing spot because something else is absolutely... they've
dominating
the Sunday night ratings.
Yeah,
that's it. Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. What are your earliest memories of Heartbeat?
Thinking, my mum will like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the music.
What's really depressing is it started in 1990 and was set in 1960. So that means if it started now, it would be set in 1994.
Yeah.
And a 10-year-old would go, oh, what is this? How old is this? And it's 1994.
I don't know, though, because, like, time doesn't... I quite responded to Heartbeat because of the music as well, because I quite liked music of that era. But I think 1994 is, like, quite a cool period for young people now. Maybe not 10-year-olds, but Nirvana and all that 90s stuff is it's very cool again, isn't it? So it might be.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's not as. Because the Beatles weren't cool in the 90s, were they?
No.
For our generation, it took Oasis and that's sort of them doing covers of stuff. I mean, it's like, perhaps it's us just growing up a little bit as well. But I remember I would have been embarrassed to admit I liked the Beatles when I was 10 or 11.
I was obsessed with the Beatles.
I wish I was. I wish I had cooler things to claim about myself.
Well, I've got quite a cool dad, so it was kind of like, I was the one who was like, oh my God, you don't know the Beatles. Isn't your dad a 60s blues guitarist?
Yeah.
But I also thought people weren't cool because I didn't like Red Dwarf. So I think it was me who was uncool. I just had complete confidence in that if I liked anything that was generally accepted in my family, that was cool and everyone else was an idiot. Yeah.
I was the other way around. Everything I liked was wrong.
Oh.
I liked getting old. Do you ever do this thing where you get older? Because I'm forever sort of thinking, oh my God, that's embarrassing. About stuff like from when I was 8. Do you know, like things like little sort of faux pas and things I said that were whatever. And I like, but then I sometimes have the reverse of that where it's like, oh God, when I was 10, I really loved this.
Ah, that's
and then
lovely.
you see it, you see it and think, actually, that's held up.
Yeah.
I was right to have liked that. I'm thinking of things like I adored, and I mean to the point of ridiculousness, Faulty Towers when I was about 11.
Yeah.
Like I used to tape it and watch it over and over. And I knew it inside out, back to front and upside down, that programme. But that is quite a cool thing for an 11-year-old.
Yeah, I was really into Monty Python and we watched it over and
me
over.
too.
It was taped off the telly and I'd watch the tapes when my parents were out. You know, it was independent of my parental influence. But I remember I remember being of an age where I didn't understand it. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, as a 5-year-old or something, just being like, I don't get why this is funny.
Yeah, or thinking there's a level to it when there wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought, that must be like a really clever comment on Vietnam or something.
Yeah.
And it really isn't.
On the Vietnam.
On the Vietnam. It's just someone slapping a fish across someone's face.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see. Right. This is this military thing represents the never-ending war
Empire.
from 1984. Yeah. It's just a fish. Well, yeah.
Hang on.
What kind of headphones have you got?
Rubbish ones.
Okay.
I panicked last year. Like, I didn't panic, but I wanted a pair of headphones, and I was restricted to buy because I needed them on like within an hour.
Right. Yeah.
So I couldn't. Amazon wasn't an option.
No.
I had to go to the crap electrical shop in my town and ask what headphones they had, and these are the ones.
That's the ones.
And they were about 25 quid, and they looked like they were from 1997. They're huge. The lead is really long, and they're not especially good. So, in answer to your question, those are the headphones I've got.
Yeah. No, I just bought a new set recently, and they're I really struggle with. There's a combination of the fact that I have a very sharp elbow in my ear, apparently, which means that I have very acute hearing, or at least did before I went to rock and roll shows. But it also means that like earbuds don't go in my ear and stay, so I have to have overhead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I've also got a really small head, so most headphones kind of slip back and forth. And if I'm like out, if like I'm running on a treadmill, if I'm out in the garden and I'm like gardening away, then they'll just sort of slowly slip forward. And I just wondered if there were headphones made for small heads, but apparently not. And then my friend was like, why don't you just buy them for children? And I thought that's quite a good idea, actually.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
So
Great
today
story.
on the bike, it was really, on an electric bike, it's really easy. But the pain in the bum on the seat is intolerable. And
Why
then
are they so painful still?
I know, sort that out.
Yeah.
Why are they shaped like that? Why are they shaped like a V? Mix it up.
Yeah. Like a bar stool.
Most people, exactly. I know.
Like
Most
twists.
people aren't going to be buying their bike in the hope of getting in the Olympic team.
No.
So I think the special, streamlined, speed designed, whatever, I think that's the one you should buy off the internet.
Yeah, and have
added.
Yeah.
And the bar stool, classic round spongy circle.
Yeah.
Is what should be a standard.
Or even like one of those ones that's got like buttock creases in it and the leather.
Yeah.
And then it's got a kind of wooden mount and like the upholstery is done with like gold bolts all around it. And if you're on an electric bike, you have less kind of balance to worry about because you're not kind of orchestrating the speed so much. So you can just sit at traffic lights and just kind of lean back and spin around.
I'd love that.
Wouldn't it be great?
I just
with
can't
a pint?
believe I'm like, yeah. Why is my bum taking a pounding on these journeys?
Yeah.
But my mate said, he said, he goes, oh, surely they've designed cycling shorts that have got the gel in.
Just give me a nice seat and then you don't have to pad my trousers. Absurd. It's so fixing the wrong end of the problem.
I know, yeah.
The seat is the problem. The bum
that's how desperate we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bum's fine as it is.
The bum's fine. The bum's already squishy and soft. Don't put this incredibly hard thing underneath it in the most painful place possible. God damn.
The other thing is, with the whole streamlined bike seat on an electric bike, that's really not pandering to its audience.
No, because you're not like getting up off it and doing all of that. You're just
you need to know that we've bought this because we're lazy.
Yeah.
We need the bar stool.
Yeah. Celebrate it. Cup holder.
Own it.
Own it. I am owning this.
A cup holder. Not a bottle holder, a cup.
A cup, yeah.
You get annoyed when it starts spilling. So, oh, for goodness sake.
Or like a coffee cup in it, or, again, a pint.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like a glass of orange.
Going everywhere. This is designed terribly. We fixed the seat, and now we've got another issue.
Do you remember the Chuckle Brothers having the bike car? They had it was like a car that was a bike.
Vaguely. Like a sort of, what are they called? Like a tuk-tuk.
Yes, yeah. And they just sort of cycle around on it. I'd love one of those.
Yeah.
An electric one.
Yeah. You're getting closer and closer to wanting to just have a car. I want it so I'm enclosed, and I want it to be electric so I don't have to power it with my legs. And then I want it to have two people in it and space for the dog.
The radio on.
Yeah, I want a radio
and windows
that I can hear.
Go down.
And and a heating on the dashboard.
Talking of the Chuckle Brothers, have you ever seen? And this is a reasonably, what's the opposite of tenuous? No, tenuous. No, the opposite of that.
Prescient?
Yeah.
Link.
There's a link here.
Right, relevant.
Right, get ready. I told you I'd had some drinks. The Cannon and Ball.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them in action?
Yes, but not for years.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh, is it? I remember them being like, okay. Not as much as Smith and Jones. There were other duos that I liked. Fry and Laurie.
I've watched a few recently. They are unbelievably bad.
Are they quite prop heavy?
Not really.
No.
Not. I don't say this lightly. They are considerably worse than So Haunt Me.
Jeez. Louise.
Yeah, they might be worth a watch.
I might. Maybe we should watch a few minutes together before the beginning of the next show, and then we'll be just absolutely riotous with laughter over So Haunt Me.
Yeah, I'll dig a clip out.
Find a particularly representative.
No.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, just series 12, episode 4. It will be awful.
Yeah, okay. Great.
And they ran for ages.
I felt like they were kind of Royal Variety Show kind of level of celebrated. Maybe not.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were going in the 70s. They had the Christmas special in the 70s. So big stars, but just...
Not
the
funny.
fact you never see them except on things like Celebrity Love Island, or not Celebrity Love Island, but, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, or Come Dine With Me Celebrity Special.
Yeah.
Why is no one ever playing clips of them?
Yeah, or repeating it in the same way, like you said last week, yesterday, Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, they're not still part of the kind of television lexicon, are they?
But when you look at the comments, there's so many people saying, "Oh, genius! This is when TV was proper." And
yeah, they're probably racist, aren't they? I imagine they're kind of like they're over 70s.
No, they're not.
Context.
There's nothing. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've never got that from them.
Okay.
It's things like so what the small one with the fuzzy hair has braces under his shirt jacket and pulls his like this.
Yeah.
Does the thumb and says, Tommy, right? I was walking down road, right? Tommy. Stuff like that, and I saw a duck. I thought that fits Bill.
Oh God!
It's stuff like that.
Maybe it's offensive to Northerners.
What? They're not showing it anymore. They still do
it's still
like
got,
Blackpool
it's still
Pier and whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it still just reinforces those kind of like what I think Caroline Aherne was making fun of when she did the voice for Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Like she was doing it ironically as a way of kind of.
She was.
No, maybe not. Maybe she
was
just.
She's a fascinating person.
Yeah.
Did you know she was like a genius, like an actual, like her mentor?
Yeah.
She was part of the she had an IQ of something crazy.
It doesn't surprise me. No, I didn't know that.
Genuinely, like super intelligent. I love her.
Yeah, I know.
Putting it out there.
I know you do. We all do.
There's an episode in series 1 of the Royal Family where she's trying on her wedding dress and she's standing on the table in the front room, and she's just brilliant. And it's that's so real.
Yeah.
So she can see herself in the mirror above the fireplace.
Yeah.
And she looks so
beautiful.
Yeah, like just, under the sort of silly, the makeup and everything of the character and all of that. And I think it's sad when you see it, now she's passed.
Yeah.
And you just think, God, what a powerhouse.
Yeah. She was also really stunning. Like, she was just a very conventionally beautiful woman. Yeah. But yeah, and also just an incredible genius. It's becoming a Caroline Aherne tribute podute cast. A podute trib cast. But,
Kaza.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. Should we?
That is sad. Yes, right. We'll do episode 5 next time. We're just going to get all these out, aren't we? And then we'll start messing around with next of kin.
What would you? Yeah. What are you thinking for the next thing? Next of kin.
Yeah. Well, I said
Prince Among Men.
Yeah, I said messing around with next of kin, and that failed to land as a joke. But yeah, I'm quite happy to go for that. I'm okay with seeing something I've never seen. What did Jasper Carrot do?
What, in life?
Well, I'm thinking of he was in a duo, wasn't he?
Oh, are you talking about the sitcom he was in?
Yeah.
He was in a rotter. He was in that sort of the last flurry before the BBC stopped bothering.
Right.
It was called something like All About Me. And it was about a boy in a wheelchair who talked, I want to say with like a voice box. So I didn't watch it, but it was about him and his family.
Yeah.
And on the face of it, that's quite an interesting idea. Yeah. But it was
poorly executed.
So poorly standard. Yeah, it was really, really awful. Yeah. That's worth a watch.
Yeah.
And it's also triggered memories of a similar era. Jamie Theakston and Amanda Holden in a sitcom called something like Mad About Alice or All About Alice or something.
Yeah.
And they'd split up and they had a kid, and it was really bad.
Rings a bell.
And another stinker with Amanda Holden in was
I can't believe she had a sitcom career.
I know. Well, she was in the reasonably decent one with about the dating agency with Caroline Quinton, Kiss Me Kate.
Oh, right. I never really watched that.
She was like a receptionist in that.
Yeah.
That was like a kind of Thin Blue Line-ish.
Right.
Just quality, solid the piece of TV comedy. But the other one she was in that was awful was about a circus.
Oh no!
It's called something like Big Top or something.
Yeah,
and it went out at 7 p.m.
Wow.
That is a graveyard. That's when you've made it.
Yeah.
And you know you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, we can't not use it because it's public money. But we've got to put this out at the earliest possible moment.
Yeah.
This has got to go out at 7.
Because I think that's you need the transition hour slot post. So 7 o'clock is when the news is over. You can't go straight into sitcom from news. You need a human interest story or some kind of country file or something. You can't go straight from wars to sitcom. The British public won't stand for it. Sorry?
Why isn't there a sitcom on now? If I put my telly on, why isn't there a sitcom on tonight?
I don't know.
Why have they given up on that?
Well, there's probably one on BBC Three.
I bet there isn't. Let's have a little look. Obviously, the Olympics doesn't help.
No, that's true.
Why Bridges Collapse, the Genoa disaster.
What channel is that on?
Interview of the Vampire.
Yeah.
This is on BBC Two. Then we're going to BBC Three. Who Stole Tamara Eccleston's Diamonds?
Okay, not a sitcom, presumably.
Dragon's Den US. Sneak Ahead.
Sneak Ahead or Sneaker Head?
Sneaker, that is in Trainer Head.
Right.
That looks like it might be a comedy. Can't tell. With a name like that, it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, BBC Three doesn't count. I'm talking, I want a half eighter.
A half eighter.
8:30 till 9. ITV, don't bother.
What's don't bother?
No, sorry, ITV, don't bother, I was saying. ITV, that looks good. Don't bother on ITV.
Yeah. Don't bother is quite a good name for a sitcom, like a traditional family sitcom.
Did I tell you? Oh, I don't want to say this on a podcast. No one's ever going to listen, are they? I had this idea for a sitcom.
Yeah.
Where a bloke is. It was like a sort of a homage to old sitcoms. He's living in a sort of quite gross, depressing bedsit. But every night he calls it Goodnight Sweethearting. He collects videos of sitcoms.
Right.
And he goes and sits in his cupboard. And at night, he goes into sitcom world, and he's then the majority of every episode is him. Basically, it's sort of in a So Haunt Me style sitcom, and he's living in that world, and it's sort of he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got like the dream life, and he's a bit like the dad in So Haunt Me. He's I've got a job to do, that kind of thing, and then it ends with him waking up in his miserable little.
God, that's so dark. That would probably get made now.
It's a good idea, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, God, if you went on to if you went to series 2 and 3 and 4, you could do episodes where he went to Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
And went into other sitcoms. That would be so fun.
Yeah, it's got like an Inside Number 9 kind of feel. Is that what I mean? No, maybe not.
I don't know. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
But that's a good idea. But it would be. It would be really dark.
I wanted it to be
and extremely expensive to make.
I wanted it in a typical episode. No, it wouldn't.
Why?
It would because it'd mostly be in a rubbish BBC studio family house.
But then you've got to build.
And then you've got a bed set. Yeah, but you've only got to do that's they knock that stuff out.
I know, but a different set for every episode would be a bit expensive, wouldn't it?
I know, but that's
I also meant getting the rights to refer to all the intellectual property that's within each different sitcom.
Right, yeah, but that's all pie in the sky future episodes.
Right.
I'm thinking series 1 would just be a classic beginning to end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be
nice.
Good.
I think like that. I just really love that idea.
Like the opposite of the Truman Show.
Sort of, yeah.
Like he wants to go back into the lie all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to live in the authentic truth.
And he could challenge within the sitcom world his views in the real world. So, for example, he had in the pilot I wrote, he had I think he had a gay brother or something, he struggled with. But in his sitcom world, the gay is ridiculously camp.
Yeah.
And it's like helps him sort of helps him sort of process that through.
Oh, because his brother's not that flamboyant, so he doesn't mind so
not
much.
at all. Yeah, yeah.
So if his brother was that flamboyant, he'd be like, oh. You really are that bad. Oh, God. It's not actually accepting.
I'm going to dig out the script for that and send it to you.
Yeah, we should perform it on the pod.
If you want to get it made, you have to make it yourself.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It would be really expensive for two civilians with no studio to make it.
The only problem is, is this recording?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, the problem if it is as an idea is it just wouldn't work audio only. Or it would lose so much if you just recorded it.
Yeah.
Because it's all about those vibrant colours of a crap BBC house.
Yeah, well, you could even do a black and white version, start out early.
Yeah. I was thinking
an I
like
Love Lucy, and he
almost
gets to...
sort of Ken Loach, Mike Leigh style grimness.
Yeah.
And then a really cheap naff.
Where there's
colourful.
Absolutely no genuine conflict about anything.
Yeah.
Great. Sounds like a prescient reflection on our desire to escape these frightening and complicated world events.
Times, yeah.
Times of world events times.
Right, let's knock this on the head.
All right, we've ruined it. Yes. Well, thanks for listening.
Do you reckon anyone ever?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
far?
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't know how to find this.
Yeah.
Like, as somebody who enjoys comedy and sitcom and, and is making this podcast that's about comedy/sitcom, I wouldn't know how to search for this.
Yeah, if someone said, what's the aim? I have no idea.
Just a bit of company.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe just sort of go, oh yeah, that's an interesting point about sitcom, or maybe that, or I agree with you, or no, actually I disagree with you.
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking? If this ever went on YouTube, the sorts of people that would find it were people who like So Haunt Me.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know they're the only ones who would ever bother looking, or people who are in So Haunt Me. And they go, oh,
what's that?
Someone's comments. Yeah, someone's talking about this.
Yeah.
And then we'd get comments. You lot don't know what you talking about. This is proper comedy.
Yeah. I'd love to have somebody like that and just be like, tell me why you love it. I believe you. I believe you that you love it. I believe that you think it's good. I don't even believe that it's necessarily bad. I just am not particularly
I do. That's my
around.
standpoint.
Yeah.
I normally, opinion is opinion, like cheese is nice or cheese isn't very nice, but I think you could possibly get through a court case
and have it legally proved that this is terrible
legally
television.
Proven that this is not good.
Do you think maybe it was a post Only Fools and Horses kind of gig, kind of designed for her?
Oh, it's possible.
I don't really know how things work in that.
Yeah, it's possible.
She's just not getting. But then she.
Fools and Horses was still going then. It just wasn't. It was just Christmas specials only.
Okay.
They hadn't finished completely. So that's entirely possible. Yeah. She might have read the script or was in a play with the person who wrote that, wrote it and whatever. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it is
baffling.
It's got very, very little going for it.
Yeah.
And I think as well, we've gone into this naturally well aware and well conscious of time has dated it and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I haven't gone into it thinking, oh, I'm going to hate this, it's rubbish. Like it's just
has worked out that way.
It's just got nothing going for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can talk. We've provided a podcast that's as bad
as it
to
can
accompany
be.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is rock bottom content.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
fine. What we should call the podcast.
Rock bottom content, yeah.
And we look at rock bottom content and we provide rock bottom content.
Yeah. Great. That's clever enough.
Yeah. Right.
All right, on that bombshell. Yeah, another time. Bye.
Cheers.